Hello guys and welcome back. So now we're going to continue and tweak the noise, and I'm going to lower the resolution. Actually, I lowered the resolution. So let's dive inside the gas field VOP, and instead of this I'm going to create a turbulent, and I'm going to connect the position and use that instead. And let's make sure it's a 3D noise as well. And I think that's pretty much it. Let me make a floating tab of this and let's lock it here so we can see it all the time. And let's preview this. Now I want to preview it with some lighting. Let's go back. Okay, let's hit play. Okay, we're not getting a lot of details. And let's check this value. It's 25, so let's increase this to 30 just to see. Okay, now we're getting some details. The frequency was 5, but I actually like this a lot. I think it's very cool. So you know what? I'm gonna keep this, and this is part of what I'm gonna show you guys. I'm gonna keep this version. I'm gonna lower it to 4 times less than that. Okay, I'm gonna make a copy. And I'm gonna add another one. So we left that. I want to basically layer them up. That's the idea. I'm gonna restore this to 30, and let's increase the frequency so we get the finer details. And we'll tweak both of them. Okay, I think this guy is too much, so I'm gonna turn it off for now completely. Set it to 0. And let's focus on this only. Okay, I'm not seeing anything. Let's increase this to 600. Sorry, let me remove this because it can be generating a 0 value, which is a multiplier, so it negates everything else. Okay, and you know what? I'm not gonna multiply each one of them. I'm gonna add all the noise together and then multiply that with the gradient. Okay, so later we'll add actually we can add it now because it's even if it's a 0, it's not gonna affect the result. Cool. Okay, we're getting a lot of detail, and see now once it splits, it's gonna continue in these directions. There is nothing that will stop them. Let's set this to 10. See how that guy deviated. Cool. I like this. It's probably too much, but I think it's working. So let's set it to 2. And sometimes you have to wait for it a couple of frames to show up, because of if it starts too strong at the beginning, then it's gonna affect the volume too much. Let's increase it to 6 and maybe increase the frequency as well. And we're getting a lot of behavior that are really hard to get if we were using any other techniques. So to get this result itself is really hard with any other method except this one. So we're getting a lot of stuff that that are hard to achieve, and then we just have to tweak this. Now what I'm going to do is I think the gradient force is not too strong. I want to increase that a little bit more. Yeah, I want to increase the gradient to get more push in, and I'm gonna tune these guys down back, and maybe this guy set it to 4 instead. And this is I still have to go through all these tweaking myself. I don't have any magic rule to tell you guys, hey, do this and do that. There's always a lot of tweaking that goes into this. I wouldn't say a lot. It's generally a couple of hours and you have something that looks very, very interesting. Now let's Let's increase this to 3. Okay, cool. I'm gonna add this guy back, set it to 2. And I like the other noise that we had before as well. I think this one is destroying the sim too much, but I think we're also getting a lot of cool details, so I'm not gonna lose any of this. You see here, that behavior is really hard to get with any other techniques. Now I think I'm going to reduce all this down because I think overall it's very strong. So I'm going to set it to 0.4. I'm not so sure what's happening here, but let me do this. Let me go up, and I'm gonna increase the resolution because it's very important to view it at its highest resolution, or the highest that you're planning to sim this at. And look at how fast it's going. Now this is a mid-res sim, but I'm simming this at a higher resolution real time. Well, not real time, but interactively. And the reason it's fast is because we don't have a lot of crazy computation happening. We just have this this Cas field fob, and all the other guys are really fast to compute. They don't have any huge overhead or anything like that. Cool. So let's continue. Cool. I think it's working. Yeah, we don't have a lot of fine details yet, but I think it's working. Yeah. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to add some of that noise back because I think it brings in a lot of interesting detail, and just having it in just even a little bit helps. If it pushes the volume, if it changes it once, these guys will also pick up and start generating more interesting details. Now I'm going to increase this to 4. I'm going to increase the roughness, and then I'm going to increase the turbulence layers, so we have more details in there. I'm going to increase this as well, and this will make them sharper as well. And based on these two values, what I'm going to do is I'm going to copy this and just going to do a blind test. So this is 10, this is 1. I'm going to choose in between, so 5, 5, 5. I'm going to set this to 1.5. Yeah, not 2. Actually, yeah, let's leave it at that. And let's reduce this a bit. And again, this is just me trying various things. That's just tweaking. I'm gonna lower the gradient, and I can increase the actual noise. So I'm gonna set this back to 1. And we can also add another multiplier to multiply all the noises. You can see now we're getting a lot of details, and primarily because of this guy as well, but the other will pick up because we have a lot more details to show as well. Cool. So I think we're making progress, and the idea here is to get multiple different noise layered up together, and each one of them has different frequencies, so you get a lot of variation. The other thing that we can do is we can add offset variation between all these guys, and what this will do is it will help break the patterns even further. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to multiply this guy. Again, I'm just doing this. I'm not sure if it will work or not. I'm going to add a constant. Add constant. Let me disable this. Let's add 600. And I'm going to create a vector. float to vector. And then I'm going to use this as a first offset. I'm going to copy it. I'm going to change this to, say, -600. Actually, I don't want to use the same numbers. And then let's copy this and add it, use it here. And let's just make a different number. And we'll leave that as it is. And this is just to help add a little bit of randomization. There is no secret to it. And again, this stuff may all be new to you guys, but in Houdini or whenever you do R&D or something like this, there's always the finding the techniques part and then learning how to control that technique. So in this phase, we're doing both of them. We're creating the technique and learning how to do that, but it's totally fine to require to spend a lot of time to even get this setup going as it is. Okay, just to get it working. And then once you have that, you start playing just a little bit, step by step, add some noise, and then improve that noise, and then run a high-res sim and see how things go. Add more interesting emission, for example, instead of a sphere, have something more complex. And you can also layer two different fields instead of just one. You can layer multiple ones. You can try all kinds of combination to create forces like this. Cool, I think it's working. I like this. You can see we don't have the mushroom shape. It's getting broken quickly. It's still there, but I think it's fine. And I'm going to do a high-res sim with this, just the same everything. Actually, it was displaying the volume high-res, so that could be affecting the performance a lot. I'm going to hit play and let this run for a couple of minutes, and then in the next video we're going to continue improving this. Thank you guys for watching, and see you in a bit.